Thanks so much for tuning into The Water Speaks to Me. I am your global water queen, AliNICOLE Waters. And as always, it is my privilege and delight to bring to you the water wisdom updates from the river of the water of life, bright as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb, according to Revelation 22, verse 1. Now, this month's update is very interesting, yet not surprising to me for where we are in the world during this time. But the core focus was on rest, revisit, the river renderings, and being repositioned for success. And so as I was present with the river of the water of life, I felt the river flow actually at rest. I kept hearing the words rest, revisit, and reposition. So this is a time to be giving sort of a mental pause throughout this month to really reflect and revisit what you've been learning and also anchoring in order to shift into a new position of lasting success. And I know that some who are listening are new to this experience, and I always give a disclaimer that the wisdom that is rendered may not apply to everyone who is listening during this time, but it may apply at another time. And if you're new listening to this will be a fresh experience for you, but I'm sure that you'll find that certain things that you hear will resonate with you at a deep level, and you'll still be able to revisit certain incidents of your life and be able to have some fresh wisdom flow to you from what you hear in this experience. So I was guided to really invite everyone to revisit the previous River of the Water of Life renderings, and I've included the links for you to listen to them. So this month will be a time of returning to your riverbank of life, just like in Ezekiel 47 verse 6, when he was returned to the riverbank and the man or the angel said, "Son of man, have you seen this?" So during this month, you'll find yourself asking yourself, what have you gained and what will you see differently when you return to the River of the Water of Life renderings? So I just want to share what we've covered so far in this experience. So we talked about the operative flow state of beingness, and there were 5 things that you needed to know and focus on during that particular time. We also covered creating a more expansive lifestyle container, and also 5 things that you needed to know and to focus on. We also covered establishing a higher order of divine living and 5 things that you should know and focus on. And then we talked about the new re-engineered and reestablished version of your best self and 5 things that you should know and focus on. We also covered anchoring new life fundamentals and also 5 things that you should know and focus on. And then we talked about putting your stake in the ground and going for it, and there were 3 things that you should know and focus on. And we also covered working with the law of divine perfection, and there were 7 things that you should know and focus on. So being able to revisit these renderings will give you a fresh new perspective and insight to how to build new success structures and be able to reposition yourself for this greater success, because there's been a lot of momentum that has been grounded from you anchoring those of you who have been participating in this experience for quite some time. There's a lot of momentum, and this greater success is ready to come to fruition. But now it's time to not only get in position, but you do have to reposition and reframe some of what you're doing, rework, revisit, and start to reestablish yourself in order to be in the right mindset, in the right position, in order to now catapult your success at a higher level. And again, those who are new to this experience, that as they listen to these renderings, again, they'll find resonance with certain key points that will then help them to revisit some of the experiences that they've already had and be able to also catapult their success in the now. So it's always my prayer that these River Water of Life renderings will best serve everyone who listens at a high level during the month. And this month particularly, my prayer is that you will discover a fresh new perspective about all that you've gained from the River of the Water of Life updates. And of course, primarily so that you can reposition yourself for greater success. So I'm encouraging you always to be sure to take time to re-listen. And I know that these are a lot of renderings to go back through, but be intentional and make it a high priority to listen to the relevant updates, and sometimes several times as much as you need throughout the month, but highly encouraging that you at least listen to all of them one time. So the River of the Water of Life definitely has given us a charge this month to be highly intentional and to refocus ourselves in the present so that we can get repositioned. So taking the time to rest, and taking the time to rest does not mean you stop doing what you're doing, but mentally rest so that you can hear what you need to hear this month from these renderings. And then from there, as you return and get new fresh perspectives, then you know how to start repositioning yourself in the present in order to achieve the success that is much needed for you to carry out during this time. And I will catch you on the next wave of wisdom. Stay blessed.